probably the other thing too is like, even when people say, "Oh yeah, but Christians are like this, Christians are like," bro, you can cut that term off from here because the same Christianity.
There is a contrast between someone who says or believes in God and then a son of God. Someone said, "Oh, faggots," and I was like, bro. But you know what? I go, what does that word actually mean?
If you believe in Jesus Christ is your Lord and Savior, you believe in Him, then you should actually be utterly disgusted in the parade that happened in Brazil. All right, welcome back, everyone. House of Flames, episode 3.
That's us.
My name is Samuel. This is Billz.
Hello. Sam.
This is Sammy.
That's us.
All right, honestly, tonight's topic... Topics, it really is going to evolve around the LGBT community and the perverted agenda that they're forcefully pushing within our communities and through every aspect of what we call as life now and as we know it. It's become a fast-growing religion. It's become a very fast-powering movement in regards to...
it's pretty gay, to be honest.
Having possession everywhere.
I would say it is the new Western religion, Samuel.
Yeah.
Would you say
agree.
that? Because governments are hanging it.
Yeah, correct.
What else did we talk about?
You can't go anywhere without seeing it.
Yeah,
Flags.
political parliaments are agreeing with it.
I was talking to one of our mates, actually. Oh, yeah. And she was saying that at their kids' school, their disco theme is rainbow.
Where? Here?
Yeah, in support of the LGBTQ RS
plus
at the school.
OITs.
Ali's another one.
School is in like a primary school?
Yeah, bro. Primary school. In support of allies.
Yep.
In support of that movement.
I think you have to question yourself if you're a parent that goes to a school like that.
Yeah.
Or you not as the parent, but your child goes to a school like that where they allow that kind of forceful belief and doctrine to be taught. That's something you really, as a parent, you need to have an understanding on, mate.
It's crazy, because it's like, it's one of those things where we're getting to the point where everything's getting so, like, going so far
it's
one
way
way
out of hand already, yeah.
That it's almost like we have to start making moves now.
Yep.
To ensure that the next generation don't get, caught up in
the line
in
won't be
whatever
drawn.
it is. No,
There'll
exactly.
never be a
That's
line
what I
that'll be
mean.
drawn.
Like, there's got to, at some point, we've got to just make a decision and be like, bro, there's something has to be done. Like,
Right.
we've got to do something.
We talked earlier about the symbolism, the signs, the flags, the indoctrination of these kids that are raised in schools. Not only that, but the mass support. Like, a young mind is formative as in the early stages before 12 or whatever. These guys are getting it like, we're going to talk about some topics later, but these guys are getting it at like 3, 4, 5, 6 years, having a blooming disco like that.
Yeah.
In my day, in the schoolyard, one of the most words you didn't want to get called was around that community.
Yeah. Hard.
Now, I'm going to say something here that's probably out the gate. I put up a lot of posts and I challenge this stuff because I'm about the conventional man and a woman. God created such a union, and it should be that way. And
The
so
most
I'm very
traditional way,
supportive.
that's right.
So I get very offended when people are trying to distort, twist, and pervert
100.
such
absolutely.
a thing. So I put a lot of stuff up on my Instagram, and then it flows onto my Facebook. And someone said, "Oh, faggots," and I was like, "Bro." But you know what? I go, what does that word actually mean?
Yeah.
So, brothers, I did a bit of a word study on that word.
Oh, we have another definition.
So,
Pop it
Wherever-
up there.
So
So-
the word,
eh?
so the word faggot
Yeah.
means
A bundle of sticks
That's
that
correct,
you
yeah.
burn
That's right.
to start the fire. There's 2 other ones. Or one other one is a dummy soldier that kind of just is not very useful, but just fills in numbers for the army. Yeah. Now,
bro, you first.
yeah. Like, we're
Test
running
the
out of
waters.
numbers. Oh, just get
Test
in
the
here, bro.
waters.
But
Have a look, bro,
you
see
can't
if
shoot.
there's some
Like
enemies over there.
the bro that has to jump off the bridge first to
Yeah.
make sure there's no sticks or rocks in the water.
I don't know. But anyway, like, so, because, I'm like, hey, no, we're not about that. We're not about that. But it did interest me what that word actually meant.
Yeah, well, it's crazy, how like people can take words and turn them into something derogatory. Like even the word chicken Like, you know what I mean? When you say someone's a chicken, it immediately means that they're scared or they're soft or
fearful.
You know. When in actual fact, like a chicken is a chicken.
Yeah.
It can be quite bold, to be honest, the old chicken.
Yeah, and they're pretty ruthless too, chickens.
Yeah. I've knocked one out when I was about 5 years old with a stick. My nana's one. They weren't too happy.
Holy heck.
But, you know, in the early days of the 90s and that rap, like, they'd bust out those words and you're like, oh, you know, this and that. And you're like, oh, the most derogatory sort of words.
Like DMX, for one.
Man.
Oh.
He was ruthless.
DMX was super
We
ruthless.
need some more DMX out there.
Yeah.
Hard.
Rappers, if you know this.
DMX or
It's
Lil
happening.
Nas X.
Oh.
Hey,
don't
pick your extreme. Shucks.
shoot the cat.
It's crazy though, because like these days, even rappers are too scared to step into that kind of, or to say certain things. Like, you know, they'll say a whole bunch of other stuff, but they'll stay away from using those kind of terms. It even happened with Lizzo, like hers it wasn't to do with anything with the Rainbow Crew,
Right.
but it was she said the word spaz in one of her songs, and she had to like remove the song and stuff like that because
Might offend
it was
people.
derogatory towards disabled people.
Spares. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. We're in trouble though if we can't just say words, and not that we want to say those kind of words as such, but it's a very PC to the agenda though. They're not very PC toward
Toward
correct.
everything else.
And I don't think we should be governed by what we need to be saying. Well, I don't think we should be muzzled, should I say. So, for example, Jacinda Ardern back into the New Zealand government when she was in power, she was saying that this is a warfare of words, right? We're now in a warfare of words.
Yes.
So it's
That's
actually
right, yes.
words that are going to be now used as the firing bullets.
And she went to the UNA to try and
correct.
muzzle the... Yeah, that's right.
Muzzle, hate speech.
Yeah. Okay, so talking about country leaders, the New Zealand one, the Australian one,
What's
some
the,
of their stands, bro. Some of the stances
He
they
had a
take.
full T-shirt on with
What's the New
Hipkins.
Zealand? Oh, Hipkins. Yeah.
Yeah,
Hipkins. What's his first name?
I want to say
Chris,
Chris.
yeah.
Yeah.
Chris Hipkins.
Yeah. Chris Hipkins. Yes.
He had a T-shirt representing all the different
Letters.
of the LGBTQI plus
Yeah.
X, Y, and Z, and all that sort of thing and what it means. So if a person like that who's in a political power that runs a country, how dangerous is it for that country?
Oh.
How dangerous is it now for the schooling systems, for everywhere you go, any grocery stores?
What do the families
example.
and the very fabric of society look like in 5-10 years?
Yeah.
Well, what's crazy though is that like when you think of that crew, right? Like even with you just saying like the bro had a T-shirt representing
Albanese was another one for Australia.
representing all the different things. Like that whole crew is all of those terms are sexualized.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Why
like
we-
we don't walk around,
agree
but I
with it
mean,
then. You agree with what
yeah.
you're
But
putting
what
it on,
what I'm
you'd
saying
agree
is
with what
like
they do.
none of us walk around saying, "Oh, I'm hetero this," or you know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
straight
yeah.
this.
I'm
Like
straight, I'm
this
married.
is I'm what do you call it? Today is straight day.
Like
or,
imagine if you
or
had...
let's have a straight flag.
If you had
like,
straight, married,
yeah,
man and woman only.
that's actually
Father
fire.
raising children,
Yeah.
We should
church
we are doing
attending,
that.
tithe paying.
We
We're gonna
should
do
wear
that.
those T-shirts next time on the show.
Actually,
No,
we
we're gonna
should.
do
Yeah,
that.
Okay, that's
Who
fine.
could
That's a
decide
fact.
that?
Jump on
I
the
love
movement. We're gonna do that.
100%.
Yes, we are.
That
Bring
is
back the
crazy.
normality. Bring back normality.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is that like
And look, listen to this. That's going to be a radical T-shirt.
oh
Oh yeah.
but
Enough
you
is
imagine
enough
wearing the
2.0.
gay one at your school.
yeah.
When you guys went to school when you were 12.
Oh yeah, hard.
What we'll do is we'll get that that T-shirt the Prime Minister had on. We'll put a cross there, cross it out, and then we'll put
I don't want
family man.
Yeah. I'm not actually wanting those names on my T-shirt.
Oh, we'll just cross it out there so you wouldn't actually see it.
Yeah, you're right though. I think we need to do something with
Nah,
it.
I think
I think
that
that's
like
good.
the
I like that
straight,
idea.
married, family man, all of that kind of stuff on a T-shirt is fire.
I was going to
Once
say
we get
like,
some
you'll be
merch up, we'll
weird,
drop a
but
link for everybody to go and buy, and then please go ahead and buy some.
it seems weird because people are like, why do you have to
We have to
display
do
that?
that
Well,
now.
yeah, well the thing is, why do you have to display
You have to show them
rainbow
what
stuff
normal
every chance you get? Like, you know, it's cool,
Facts.
bro. Like, be whatever you want to be, but
So Hipkins done that. Bro, fill them in on what the...
Albanese
Oh,
was
Albanese,
another one as
bro.
well.
Albanese.
Albanese. So Albanese attended the Pride Mardi Gras Pride Week kind of march that they did in
50,000.
Sydney. 50,000
50K.
attendees, must I say. That's unreal. That's,
That is
to be honest,
crazy.
that's actually unbelievable. And you had fathers with their, well, obviously they were born boys.
Shall we call
but they
them
were
fathers
dressed
anymore?
up. They were dressed up like girls on their shoulder. And that already tells you the generation that they're trying to lead on into Australia. And to know that our Prime Minister is in charge of that, as in a sense of he backs that, you have to understand that this person...
fathers.
Oh, 100%.
Bro, but you imagine, right? Like, back in the days, like if I grew up and I was like, Mum, I want to be a Crip. And my mum was like, that's it, son.
And you did.
We're buying you blue everything. You're gonna get tattoos.
Yeah.
You're gonna only have blue clothes.
Yeah.
You're not gonna have any. We're all gonna hate red because you hate red. And that's me at 6. You
Child
know what I
runs
mean?
the
Like
house.
how stupid does that sound?
Exactly.
Sounds ridiculous, yeah.
You know, so to even like to, I mean, in all honesty, it just makes me sad. Like when you were saying, like, you know, these fathers with their kids on their shoulders and stuff. I'm like,
they're clearly boys, but they're dressed up as girls.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that's really foul about it, is that people don't understand that, okay, if you have a Prime Minister who's actually for this community, and then they say, for example, that love is love. So where's the line drawn? So if a 4 to 5-year-old is being molested, brutally, abused by a man, that's actually allowed in their community. That's allowed in what they preach and teach.
And love isn't always acceptance. Well, you know, by the true definition of love, like if I love my kid, I'm not going to let him do drugs. Well, you know, I'll fight to do whatever I can to keep him out of jail.
How dare you not let him? You know what I mean?
Yeah, you better accept this drug habit.
Yeah.
Oh, that's just
and the
ridiculous.
power's been stripped from a lot of these parents now. Let's be honest though, like the stupid mindset of the majority of society. Oh, majority, maybe. I think it is.
It is the majority now. They're not even the minority anymore.
Heck no.
It's actually
50,000 attendees just going for a walk along the bridge.
It's actually a demonic spirit that's actually just cast a massive cloud upon them.
Yep.
And that's why their mind is under this kind of stupor sort of way of thinking. They've been hoodwinked, man, and you're weird.
Yep.
You and I are weird.
Well, is their moral compass is not even there.
No.
So, for example, there was another one. There was a video, and we'll put the link up in the corner there. Glenn will put that up for us. It was a creche that had kindergarten, for example. People don't know what a creche is. A kindergarten that had a male, what would you want to call it?
They're like drag dudes.
Circus dancer, maybe circus Soleil dancer, swinging on a like a.
They're like striptease dudes.
Basically, they were strippers. That's the easiest way for me to describe it. He was wearing an elephant trunk. Right? And these were kindergarten children with their parents sitting around a circle watching that. If you as a parent, that's sexual abuse.
Right.
You should be charged. As a parent, if you're taking your child to that, you should be charged.
Grooming.
Bro, that's grooming at its finest. Holy
Where's their moral compass? Just gone way out the door. Forget religion. It's got nothing to do with that.
Nah.
Forget that. Your moral compass gone way out the door. If you were in that kindergarten at that age, your parents would have gone, flipping, what's going on here? That's wrong. But now, 20 to 30 years on, that's allowed. They're sitting around a circle and they're clapping for some naked guy.
Yeah, it's beyond common sense. Everyone's been bewitched. It's
Yeah.
No, you're right.
You're more than hoodwinked.
The Bible talks about a debased mind in those times, a crooked and perverse generation that we're in. And we got to stand as lights. And so House of Flames represents lights, pillars of fire, pillars of hope. But we are lights because who else is speaking and standing up for this? Some are.
Yeah.
But we're bringing a solution. Like I know we rattle off problems and the ills of society, but the solution we actually have is the fire of Christ that comes in. Now that name alone wants to kindle some sticks.
Oh, yeah.
That name alone wants to start to burn some, people's hearts up. Yeah. But I tell you right now, that's the only answer that is going to change the entrapment of the mind with the stuff.
Back to that, I can't get past it. That's sickening to me.
Now, I've seen that video.
It's disgusting.
I've seen that video.
It's actually sickening. It's putrid to watch.
The bro's on his upside down. He opens his legs and hangs his
the bro's like
balls out.
Yeah.
Stinking balls out. And these kids are sitting down. Now, these kids are not high. They're down, sitting down in a square.
In a square circle as well.
And I'm like, but these parents are like,
but the thing
is,
in
your right mind going, this is what my child's watching.
Those kids they're being exposed to like pornography at the age of 3, 4.
Yeah, correct.
And
but it's extreme.
Yeah, it's
twisted.
Oh,
that's
man,
live
it's
soft porn right there. That's what that is, live.
Right.
Then they'll jump on Netflix and go, oh, look, this is just like what we watched at kindergarten.
Yeah, so I can watch
but
this.
not as bad.
Yeah.
Let's just jump on that.
Yeah, so I can watch this because mum and dad took me to
see the real thing in front of me.
Yeah. Oh,
this is normal.
We say this with no hatred toward any human being, by the way. We say this in such a way as to, like, there has to be a plumb line, otherwise we're slipping way off the moral compass, as you mentioned.
Yeah.
And we have to be those ones who actually say, you know what, we're not going to take this. There's a lot of silent voices out there.
Yeah, heck yeah, we're not going to be silent.
People who don't agree with it but won't comment. Me and the bro Monts, we were on this thread commenting about some parade thing. You mentioned it. And I was like, basically, heck no. We don't want this in our community. This is going to, basically ruin things.
Yeah.
And the bro was, he did his long one as he does and hit them. But of all the comments and all, like 300 maybe likes and whatever, there's maybe 2 or 3 angry faces.
Yeah.
And only me or his comment and all the rest were like, oh, we'll be there. This is great.
Yeah, yeah.
But I think other people just go, oh, too hard to handle, and they just scroll past it. You know what I mean?
Or they'll like
That's
it.
the thing is they don't want
They'll
it to
agree.
be
Yeah, they'll agree, but they won't sit there and put themselves out there and be like.
Yeah. That's because for them, they don't want it to be their problem until it's knocking on their door.
Hard.
But by then, it's too late.
Hard.
It's already most likely entered through your door.
Yeah.
It's already most likely one of your children are watching, deciding what they're going to be now for the next weekend. If you have a young daughter, if you have a young son, and you don't stand up for those sort of things, then you have to have a better foresight to know, flip. If I'm not saying something and verbalizing that in my house that these things are not okay, then I don't know what my son or what my daughter's going to be looking at, what they're going to be watching, what I've allowed
Even that friendliness with that lifestyle, you may be like, oh, for us, that's not what we agree with, but I will support them. What you're saying to your kids is that it's okay if you go that way.
Yeah, hard.
And they go, oh, but I love my kids. And, yes, we do, but we have to teach them moral ways and basically just the natural standard way of how God has made us anyway. There was another one, the US. They went to court. The US Weightlifting Association went to court, and they were battling over the topic of...
They lost the discrimination trial.
Yeah, so should women be allowed... no, should men be allowed,
to compete.
To compete in
Trans.
the women's
Do you know what that means
and they
now,
lost it,
Yeah, they lost.
So they lost their case.
So you know what that means now? So because we're going to be hosting the Olympics here in Australia.
Yes.
So that means that the Olympics to come...
It's going to have all sorts.
It's going to have that. You're going to have men smoking the women,
all sorts
and all
of
the weightlifting
weirdness.
and powerlifting. Well, probably not powerlifting because I don't think it's in the Olympics, but weightlifting competitions.
Yeah, weightlifting. Yeah.
And they're going to just be blitzing it. So what you've done is now you've devalued the strength of a woman.
Bro, that's
the beauty of a woman.
I was just going to mention that.
If we talk about that, talk about the awards.
We've disregarded the beauty of a woman having a child.
And
we've
the uniqueness.
The uniqueness of a woman to compete in sport.
You've removed their special.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
What makes them special,
special about a woman.
Yes.
Because you need
noble
to equalize
worth
of something.
Of
because
beauty.
the thing is
because
that...
a man can't give birth to a baby.
Like, in all honesty, if a woman tries to compete in male sports, they get rocked. Like, let's say a woman tries to compete in like a NRL game, they get rocked.
Well, what about Bogut? Because he owns an NBL team. He owns a women's NBL, the women's team as well.
Oh, true.
One of the latest thing with the Melbourne or the Victoria League or whatever is that they are allowing a man
to play in
enter into the women's
basketball.
That's
Here's
disgusting.
the topic he raised.
Shame on you.
He goes, okay, so what's the age of consent then? Because we have 16 or 15-year-olds playing in this league, and you just said that they're allowed to go in the changing room and hang their balls out, etc., in front of these girls who are not under 18.
Yeah.
Now, you opened up a can of worms, bro, that becomes more than just allowing them, which is wrong anyway.
Yeah. Yep.
You've actually opened up a foul door for all sorts of things.
It's one of those things, They're like,
and for someone that's listening, thinking that there's nothing wrong with that, well, just let some grown man walk into your bathroom where your daughter is.
Yeah.
And then
until
you'll
it
soon
hits
see
home.
it. Until it hits home, that's when you'll know, flip,
and
that
it's
is
like,
wrong.
even if you do disagree, like, I do think that people should be able to compete wherever they want to compete, you got to have some sort of moral compass that tells you, things being this way, with guys being in girls' bathrooms and girls being in guys' bathrooms is wrong. Like that should. But
not. See, the moral compass has been pushed so far
but
out of
what
whack
I mean
now.
is like it's like even if you do disagree with whatever's happening, you should be able to just look at it and be like, that's wrong. So I've got to bite the bullet, even if I feel like it's wrong. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'll just say this: help us with this fight.
Yeah, hard.
Absolutely.
When you see topics,
stand up, man.
share it that you agree with. When you see topics around this whole gender thing that you don't agree with, comment, because silence is, you know, like what did Martin Luther King say about silence? Something about you basically...
Silence is it's like agreement or something like that. Silence. What
Damn,
is it?
I shouldn't have put us in this. But yeah, it was basically
what
like
you're saying.
silence is basically
Yeah, 40 minutes on there, one of us will be like, silence is the blah blah blah.
My wife's probably like, "Oh, you flipping? It's this now." But I think so that Bogut thing, yeah. So he just started getting attacked and this and that. But,
Right.
Man,
That's disgusting.
that's crazy.
Man.
Yeah. Well, he put up another tweet about
Good on him for using his voice.
Yes.
how the Toronto Raptors had to apologize for International Women's Day. One of their players said that women are the only ones who could bear life or bear children.
Facts.
Something like that.
Can
Yeah,
give
what's
birth.
Oh, they're project. Oh,
Yeah, that's fine.
that they're the only ones who can
Procreate.
And
Was that the right word, mate?
yeah, no, that was the word. So one of the players on the Toronto Raptors said, women are special because they're the only ones that can procreate.
Facts.
And the NBA made them apologize. They had to make a public statement. So the Toronto Raptors made a public statement apologizing on behalf of that player for saying what he said. And Andrew Bogut pretty much he just started going in on the NBA about how...
Bro, so you know your favourite
What
stars
the
going to
heck?
be
But it's
wearing
like you were
rainbow-coloured jerseys, eh?
Well, it's like you were saying, bro, like, we're taking away the things that are special
About
to
a woman.
I think that's it. Like, as much as we're waving this flag of morality, like, what are these cats up to? By the way, the transgenders are some ugly looking woman.
Oh, in
When
all
they
honesty, you see more of the man try to become the woman, eh?
Well, there's that one, who was on...
You see lesbians,
Drew
but then you see
Barrymore.
more so the man trying to become the woman.
Yes.
And that's why we're getting at the point
There's
of
less
you're
butchies,
taking
eh?
away you're taking away the
Purple-haired
beautiful
butchies, yeah.
sweetness of a woman.
Yeah.
And what they were really born in.
I mean, they are a grotesque, ugly looking subject, I must say. Let's not say that they can win Woman of the Year.
Nah, man.
Let's not say that they can
disgusting.
win the Courageous Award
Bruce
from
Jenner,
Biden's missus.
you will always be Bruce Jenner.
Jill Biden gave this woman an award because as a teacher she was getting kind of like hit up because he, pretending to be a woman and his mental illness and all that, whatever,
right.
I'll give you an award. And all these other great women who've worked for 30, 40 years, the bro was only a woman for a year.
Yeah, well, that...
Now this... Hey, this other one was a woman for 30 years. Like, yes, I've got a chance. Oh, no, I have no chance.
Yeah, I've been
Born
a
a
woman.
woman.
I've been a woman my whole life, and I can't even be good at that.
Yeah.
Like, you know, some dude comes in and is a woman for 10 minutes and is the
He went
best.
to old Dr. 902.0.
The best... No, not even that, bro. Doctor Bathroom. Like, mirror. Like, you know, in the mirror doing his own makeup and that. It's...
Actually, did you hear Chappelle's take on that? That was funny. Yeah. You hear
That
that
was
one?
crack up.
That was
Yeah,
crack
yeah.
up. Tell them.
Oh, shucks. I can't remember it. But it was along the same
That
lines.
was the Jenner one. It was he wins Woman of the Year.
Yeah. And he's like...
take that all you know.
Yeah, take that all you woman. Like, you suck at being, like, you know,
And
suck
then-
at being a woman.
And he said something about that's like me trying to win.
Oh, no. No, he goes, it's like Eminem trying to win Black Dude of the Year. Like, you know, like
And wins.
Eminem comes in, like, you know, he's been a black dude his whole life. Eminem comes in for 10 minutes and he's like, you know, all of a sudden Eminem's the best black dude.
Yeah. Oh, it was crack up,
Tops.
man.
Just because he decided, what did he say? He said, like, gender is something like gender is definite or something like that. And that's what led him into...
definite, yeah.
That's what led him into that conversation. Like, because, bro, it just doesn't. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make any sense, bro.
Yeah, hard out.
Nah.
None at all.
So I think if we have a strong message tonight, it's like it's time for others to speak up who think and believe in this, not to stay silent and scroll past or not share about it.
And that
bro.
comes down to anyone too, regardless of your belief. It doesn't matter
Religion
if you
doesn't
believe in
matter.
Jesus or not. It doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
yeah.
If you know that these
It's a
things
moral
aren't
fight.
right and they're wrong, you need to stand up and you need to speak. You need to say something. Because I've met so many different people speaking about it this week. Actually, I showed them some of those crazy videos.
Yeah.
And the responses back were very normal
the
that
heck?
you and I
Yeah.
would have, right? What the heck? That's disgusting. I said, see that kind of initial reaction, see that response that you get when you first saw that video? That's what we need out there for people to see, to show them that it's okay to actually speak up and not be afraid to stay silent because you're worried of what people are going to do to your voice.
And we don't want society to become immune, bro, to this stuff.
Oh,
like,
100%.
So it's now, but in 5 years, it's like, yeah, that's been happening.
Here's something I really want to put out there as
fight.
well, is that if you believe in Jesus, if Jesus Christ is your Lord and Savior, you believe in him, then you should actually be utterly disgusted in the parade that happened in Brazil. Now, Brazil, man,
yes,
I tell you, it's a touchy one, that one. So
the Carnivale.
The Carnivale, yeah, correct.
Carnival.
So they did a parade where they were publicly and fashionably mocking Jesus Christ, that he actually lost the battle and that the devil won. And they had massive statues. So we'll pop it up there. There'll be we'll pop up a little picture there. Glenn will put it up in the corner there for you. And there was massive sculptures of devils, of
I saw the float.
Lucifer, all their prediction of Lucifer and everything else on there.
This devil thing's coming out a lot.
100%. But it's always attached with that kind of LGBTQ agenda, right?
Okay.
It is, because that's what that parade that happened was heavily influenced by...
Why is that, eh? What's
the gays,
going on there?
by the homos...
Synonymous. LGBTQ. Satanism.
Satan, right there.
Satanic.
Right close. Yeah, exactly.
And if not, then why all of a sudden is it popping up within it?
Yeah.
And so I was saying before, like, if you believe in Jesus, if you're a Christian, you should be heavily offended at that. In a sense of take up your sword and start speaking against those things that are filthy and disgusting, publicly and fashionably mocking your Lord and Savior.
You should have at least said something.
Yeah. Oh, I think, and I was kind of hoping that, John Jones would maybe say something about that. John Jones, the GOAT, man, UFC fighter. 3 years, kind of, not retired, sorry, but 3 years he stepped away from the ring, comes back and wins.
That was a dog walk,
champ.
bro.
He's a beast, though, bro.
He dog walked him. He was a beast. Even try, bro. Oh, man.
He's a beast, bro. Give him the best of the best, he'll win.
So he's a believer as such?
I want to thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ.
Cool.
Mark Hunt's brother. We need some more voices out there that can speak that. Even Conor McGregor. I've heard you say Christ's name in a few different things.
Hard,
Speak up, my brothers. We need you.
People of influence, we've come to a point now where it's like you have to make a decision. You got to pick a side.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's like you were saying, silence is pretty much agreement with whatever the winning side's doing.
100%.
If you're silent on certain subjects, even if you're silent about this, it's like you're choosing the side that you're wanting to play for by saying nothing.
Yeah.
Did they not say anything?
People steer away
they
from
probably
this.
didn't know about
It's
those
safe.
particular topics or probably or that kind of news, but at the end of the day, you still have a platform, right? You know that you believe in Jesus Christ. You're going to say his name after the end of your fight, and you did. And I suppose it's probably a bit unfair for me to put this expectation onto them, but man, if you have that platform,
it's not really. I don't feel like it's unfair. I feel like we look as
because they don't have the conviction you and I have though.
Yeah, but as believers in general, you know that you've got a responsibility to live a certain way or to believe certain things, and like especially on those type of platforms, you know that there are people who look up to you and are waiting.
Yep.
You know, because you're famous, because you're a celebrity, but even more so because you're a believer in Christ.
Yeah, I would say that Sam Smith beat them in that battle. Then
100.
Because he stood for his.
All of those Christian
Satan.
dudes that were at the Grammys and that silence.
He stood for his Satan.
It
stood
was
for his
silence.
Cause.
Yeah, exactly.
So he won that.
Man,
he won that. They're more aggressive. We're passive.
Because you know why too? Like I think about Denzel a lot. Because obviously he's a God-believing man. And the reason why I do hit Denzel a lot is because, man, you are one of the ones that black people got into acting for. You're the reason why people actually got into acting. Why people actually, for example, Chadwick Boseman. He said there would be no Black Panther without Denzel Washington.
Yes, I did see that.
So if he's the reason, then, man, you got to stop just putting motivational videos out there. Stop just saying motivational, inspirational things. Start speaking about things that are controversy against the God that you believe in. And that's honestly a real statement for Denzel to understand it. Don't stop trying to tell Will Smith on the side that the devil will come at your highest moment. Because then guess what that foul dog did? He took that quote and said it on his speech. Yeah. Denzel was just telling me that the devil will come at your highest moment. He turned what he did as a public shame towards Chris Rock and turned it around to a motivational speech.
Yeah,
brother Denzel, wake up! Your ideas, my man. Yeah. Also, hit me up for the next movie.
I saw something. I saw a video that Denzel was talking about Training Day, and he was saying that in all of his movies and stuff, his whole career, he's tried to show parts or like that. God has led him in certain ways and stuff, and he goes, God was telling me to do things a certain way and to and to like not hide my, I don't know, my beliefs or whatever. And he goes, so what I done was, I might be misquoting this, but it just made me laugh because he was like,
sounds right.
he was like, so what I done was, in training day, I was supposed to die quietly, just me, like, you know, get shot in front of no one, rah, rah. He goes, but I decided to make it public and for everyone to see me get stripped and beaten and this, and I was like, oh, bro,
don't you
Cry me a river. Hold on, let me play the old violin for you there, brother.
I was just like, bro, what a goose.
He's a foul
What a
character.
flippin'
that
goose.
kid.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what I was
he's a
saying. I
goose.
was like, bro, you spent the whole movie being a foul
He's
dude.
the
and
foulest
I'm
character you
saying.
can get.
How many chicks do you see him in with movies where they're naked all the time? And he said, bro, but your wife Pauletta's on the side here laying next to you after you've read a few lines in a script.
Oh, man.
But it's art.
Tyler Perry, stop dressing up as a woman, man. You already made your millions. Brother, you own studios, all right? You're already loaded. Stop doing that. Now you start to fight the other side. Stop going to TD Jakes' church and start dropping down $1 million checks and all that rubbish because it's motivational. Start speaking against the gay agenda. Start speaking against perverted spirits
He
in the
participated
community.
in it.
No,
That's what I'm saying. He allows access into it. I'm going to name 100%. I'll name you, boy.
Yeah,
Trying to think of some more now.
true.
Did you guys see the one that was on TV?
No, which one's that?
The Project.
Oh, the gay, the homo guy that
the one
said
who
something.
talked
Yeah, the
about
homo
Jesus.
guy, yeah.
Oh,
Did you watch it?
I watched
Yeah, I
that
watched
clip.
it.
I
Yeah.
heard parts of that. That was an Australian one, yeah?
You had the
Yeah.
two Australian chicks there laughing and giggling. You had the
All of
Muslim
them
guy there.
laughing. The Muslim dude was like kind of awkward.
Yeah, he's a prophet of ours, but I'll believe in it anyway. It's quite funny.
It's quite fun.
And then
They're
the next
filthy,
day they
mate.
apologized and he
Dirty
talked about
goose.
how it hurt him and stuff like that. But it's
Well, rubbish, boy. It didn't hurt you when you were
no,
there.
well, that's what I mean. It's funny because it's like we can.
He thought about his job. That's what he
Yeah,
did.
we don't say stuff when it matters or when we need to, which is the mud part about it. And we think afterwards like, oh, actually, I'll do it tomorrow because I'm back in the studio anyway. But it's like, bro, it's too late. Like,
Where's all those people saying that when I get a platform, I'm going to make sure I use my platform for the mouth of Christ?
The last
Yeah,
5 minutes, we just put out there that there is a contrast between someone who says or believes in God and then a son of God. Now, sons are different to servants or people that kind of just,
hard.
you know, Jesus is just all right with me, you know, the song. But then you've got those that are like sons who like take offense when their savior is spoken in a bad way.
Yeah,
Or
hard.
anything exalts itself against the knowledge of Christ. And so what you're saying and what we're talking about is probably across this earth, there's a remnant of men and women who are irked, who may be seen as the troublers. Remember in the
Extreme.
Bible
Yeah, the
Elijah was termed the
troublers.
troubler. But really, he went against the narrative.
Yeah.
He went against the common consensus of thought at the time. And so right now, the prophets of God right now are probably dudes with beanies and dreadlocks and dudes that want to have a fight with something or someone. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, hard.
but
hard.
have to speak truth, because if we don't speak truth, then this world's just left to the sway of all the blimmin' agendas that are put out there.
And that's probably the other thing too, is like, even when people say, oh yeah, but Christians are like this, Christians are like, bro, you can cut that term off from here. Because this
We
ain't
ain't
this
like
ain't
none of them.
Christianity.
We ain't like
It's
none of
not.
those Christians you know.
Because
Yeah.
you already
This
started
isn't
to, they already
Christianity.
started to type, should a Christian say?
Yeah. I'm not a
delete it?
Christian, bro.
Yeah.
This is
Keep it a
if
fact.
anything is family business. It's like, bro,
a
God's my
fact.
dad. Like,
We're doing dad's
you know,
work,
this
boy.
is dad's work. Hard. Cut that term off.
You don't see Christians talk like this.
Find another.
So
Find
why
another
label
thing.
us like that, tell you?
Shucks, man. It's
Shucks.
foul, bro.
Christians or people of God are, you know, expected to stay back, stay passive, don't
Weak,
interject,
silent.
don't attack. But I'll tell you right now, like we talked about with the agenda of all these, like Sam Smith, just to bring an example, they're very extreme, very upfront and in your face with it. And they're willing to put themselves out there and maybe risk their careers as such.
And
although
not
they're
care who
probably
it offends.
paid for it.
Yeah.
They don't care who it offends.
Yep.
Brother, the bro just offended half the world.
Yeah, exactly.
At the was the
And didn't
Grammys,
give a
right?
damn.
Grammys.
Yeah.
And he offended every other artist there.
Yeah. All
that
the
did
Christians that
believe
were
in
there.
Christ.
There's
Yes,
a whole
yes.
segment of there's a whole segment of awards for gospel artists. So for people who are Christians,
They should have if they won those awards, they should have
should have
taken
said,
that
"Bro,
chance right there and
black,
then and said
stuff
that
your
flipping
award, bro."
filthy thing there.
Probably straight after they just said, "Oh, I want to thank my God." You know what I mean?
yeah, hard. And
They
then
should've
old
said,
mate
"Let's
comes
stop
on.
No,
it.
they
with
did
this
the old
Shut
Sam
this whole
Smith
showdown.
got another pair of heels there, brother.
Yeah. But like a
I
son
just
would
want
have
to
said,
thank my God. 5 minutes later, dancing with the beret. Like,
a true son would have shut the thing
dancing
down
to
and
his
said, you know what?
performance. Yeah,
What
no.
the hell was that filth? And just went on and just until they got dragged off.
Yeah, I
And
was saying to
disassociate
the Christian,
themselves.
I was saying to the Christians, where were my Kanye's at? Where were my Kanye's at during that kind of performance? Kanye would have got up there. Not Kanye specifically, but like where my Kanye's at? Where was that move?
That
They should have
mindset.
got up, grabbed that mic off him, told him to cut the lights. All the lights would have got turned on.
Yeah.
And that 100% right there and then, you would have shown your true side of which side you stand on.
Hard.
Yep.
And absolutely, that's more commendable, that's more applaudable, and more honourable. I'd follow a person like that, and I'd probably listen more to your music
Yes.
if you were to do that. And that kind of leads into another topic that we were discussing just before about the acceptance of this gay agenda getting pushed hard out, and it's because of being accepted by weak Christians, right?
Yep.
So there was a church, I believe it's in Sydney, it could be Sydney or Melbourne, and a person who was recording it walked up to these two elderly couple who were painting a rainbow flag on the steps of a church.
Bro, you know
Like
what?
fully-
You know what's
fully
this was
painting
the
it out.
first thing that bugged me
What
about it,
the
right?
actual
It looked
heck?
like a husband and wife.
Yeah, husband and
Or
wife.
even
yeah,
if
yeah.
it wasn't a husband and wife, the first thing that annoyed me is that the man stayed painting the steps. While
Never
the
stood
woman,
up.
While the woman fought the battle
Yep.
against the bro who was talking to her.
It was hardly a battle, but
No, but I mean,
I know
but
what you're
that's,
saying. I know what you're saying.
that's
The
like
confrontation.
strike number one.
Took the
That's-
confrontation. She
Yeah.
took the
She
confrontation.
took it.
She took the heat. Yeah.
Bro, and the bro just sat there. Oh,
One thing he said to her was that because she said, "Oh, God allows gays" or something like that. So
Yeah.
put the video up just so that people don't have to quote exactly what I'm saying.
I believe so.
And what happens was he goes, "Okay, so where about in the Bible does it say that?" And she goes, "Oh, I don't know." I don't know.
Ha,
So
ha,
she
ha.
doesn't even know her own convictions. She doesn't even know the convictions of the Bible. She doesn't even know what she's actually meant to be doing there. All she knew was that, this is a way of acceptance to allow them to feel safe and blah, 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 all this other crap.
The thing you were just talking
Oh, the night before Mardi Gras.
about before Mardi Gras, so they painted it for Mardi Gras
Yeah.
to show their support.
Oh, and the night before, some dudes went over
And did a burnout.
smashed it with paint. No.
But do you remember the Black Lives Matter when they did BLM? I think it was in New York,
Yeah.
and on the road and all that. And a lady just poured a bucket of black paint, and she just kind of rolled on the floor and smudged it all over. I was like, yeah, solid. But didn't care about what they were protesting
Yeah.
about. But like that should have happened on those.
There was another
Lincoln
paint.
flags.
We talked about it. They painted over that too. That was another thing. They
Oh.
did on the wall.
The,
Did we talk about
Oh
that?
no, we didn't. No, 'cause that happened a couple of weeks ago. But that was
The
around.
gay
It was
50
for the same
40-year-old
thing. It was,
fat man,
yeah,
eh,
yeah,
with
yeah,
the
with
teddy bear?
teddy bear face.
In Sydney.
And the leather
Yeah.
gears, eh? And the leather
Yeah.
gears. Was a teddy bear? That's
Yeah,
right.
so there was a building in Sydney that got painted.
Laneway.
Like, some artists came together and painted this mural in support of Pride Week, and they painted a mural of an old
of a
guy.
fat 45-year-old man,
He looked like
50-year-old man maybe,
man.
hairy
if
chest.
anyone knows Demolition from the WWF, like back in the 80s.
Or June, the dude that comes out of the oil.
Oh yeah,
I don't know that one is either.
no, yeah,
You know,
yeah.
you know,
Like in the black.
the guy that is
The
have you
bad
seen
guy.
June the movie.
Remember
Yeah,
we went and watched it. Yeah, and the dude
yes.
comes
I see what you're saying. Yes, that's
Yeah,
exactly
he
what
looked
it
like that. But
Like that creepy and
yeah.
foul. Yeah.
And so they had him wearing like leather and studs and all of that. But then,
what's the word
and a
for that,
teddy
though?
bear.
The,
I have no idea, bro.
What's the word for that?
Dominatrix.
Something like is it?
Is it?
Nah, it's not that, is it?
I don't know.
You know what I'm talking about?
Same.
The leather, the leather.
Yeah, the bro looked like he was wearing shucks, man, like leather
Word
tops.
escapes me,
Demolition.
Yeah, like demolition,
Brother,
from the
Just too
WWF.
straight, brother. We're just too straight, brother. That's all.
And his face had like a teddy bear face. So obviously,
keep
there's an
thinking
agenda being
Buddhism
pushed
for some
there
reason.
because
Mixing it, eh?
yeah, why
A
is
track
there
with the teddy bear.
why is
A
there the
teddy
need to
bear.
paint a teddy bear's face on that type of image?
Drawing children in.
How
It's
dare they bring
crazy.
out another
What else are
flag,
you drawing
though?
in? You're not
How
drawing
dare
in
they bring out
anything
the
else,
trans
brother.
Flag?
You're not drawing in a grown
Oh
man.
yeah, another flag. They
Don't
got
bring
two
another.
flags.
What's the next one going to be? Flip.
They brought out another flag.
You know the trans flag? You got the rainbow.
No.
Yeah, it's like a. Because
It's-
someone showed me.
it looks like a licorice also.
Yes, it does. It's the.
Oh no, I haven't
It's
seen
white,
that.
blue,
another
and, it's
flag.
white, blue, and
You're
pink.
But it's got a
kidding me.
triangle, I think, on it.
It's white, blue, and pink.
You're kidding me.
Nah, and it's been hung everywhere too.
Yeah,
And it's been added, and it's just foul.
yeah. It's on like the emojis and everything. It's crazy.
What's our
thought he
final
was trying
stuff?
to-
Don't stay silent,
Yeah,
people.
man. Don't keep
Speak
quiet.
up.
You got to speak.
Let the moral compass within you. Don't have a seared conscience toward this stuff, man.
Do we talk about the
Oh,
dad?
the dad. Yeah, the dad transitioning his son.
Oh, man.
And this happened a while ago, so because I believe that kid
3-year-old,
now
right?
is like older.
That kid now is winning gold medals, and so he should be running against girls.
Oh,
Flip, bro.
but yeah, so there was a story that it's probably an old story, but a father who transitioned his son into a girl at the age of 3. So at 3 years old, this dad saw or thought that his son wanted to be a girl at 3.
Yeah.
This kid probably didn't even know how to go to the toilet properly at the time.
3 years old, man.
3 years old.
Yeah.
Just started walking, and
They're
his
just
father
learning their name
decided.
at 3.
His father decided that he was going to transition his son into a girl.
What a flippin' goose.
Train a child up
What
in
an
the way they
absolute
should
muppet.
go. This dude groomed his kid to be
Groomed
off.
his kid to be a girl.
And the question that the interviewer said, because I saw the clip, it was, okay, but what do you think as he starts to grow and his Adam Apple gets, he starts to croak and gets hair under his arms and he gets, the testosterone. Now he goes to play sport. Well, do you think that that's fair? And he kind of was defensive, like, don't say that. No, I'm going to give him pills to suppress his testosterone. He'll be just like a girl, And I'm
What
like,
the heck?
bro, this is the world we live in. Are we crazy or are these cats crazy, man? Like, some people are going to call us haters, bigots.
Yeah, they
crazy.
are. And bro, the thing is that like it doesn't even have to be hate, eh? Like just because we stand for something doesn't necessarily mean we hate the other thing. Like I mean, or not hate the other thing, we hate the other thing, but I mean hate people is what I'm saying. Like there's people who are in our families probably or
bro,
people that we know.
Have you got family that are gay?
Yeah.
Let me, that's
Like
let me
cousins
think
or
now.
even friends?
I think I do have one. She is a lesbian, gay. Yeah, same thing. I suppose.
Yeah.
She is lesbian.
Yeah.
I think that's the only one that I know of.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've got like family.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've got cousins that are gay. I've got mates that are gay.
Yeah.
People I grew up with that are gay.
Look, they know we got a stance, but they know we love them. Like mine know we love them.
And the thing is too, majority of them don't even like the rainbow stuff or the forcefulness of
The grooming, the agenda.
yeah, the grooming, the agenda, the grooming kids into it. Like there's books that they're selling in like bookstores.
Oh,
the
chameleon,
ABCs, the gay
chameleon.
BCs.
Oh, flip the
gay
queer
BCs.
chameleon.
What
The
was it
gay
again?
BCs.
Binary.
A is for
Soul?
I just
I don't know what else to say there. Put me on the spot, brother.
how dare you?
A is for. What was that for?
Bro, clip that, G. That's getting clipped. Holy heck.
B.
I don't know what A is
What was
for,
B?
bro.
We don't want to educate these fellas on that anyway.
Oh,
There
heck,
was another one, no way. There was the ABC and there was another book.
There was
The chameleon. Chameleon.
Oh,
one.
the
And the chameleon goes
bro.
around and he sees his mates and has got two.
And every
grasshoppers
time he
that are
sees
kissing
another
and-
one, he changes color to fit that other one, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
bro.
that's
The
foul.
rainbow
Can we
chameleon.
even watch one movie though where there's not like a
A gay reference?
relationship?
The Whitney
within it?
Houston one. I watched that one the other day.
Yeah, but
Oh,
even
did you
the-
watch
no,
the
but
First
even just
15
on the
minutes of it.
Bro,
Bro,
even Scream. I watched
first
Scream,
scene.
bro.
Boom.
Scream.
Ally.
Oh, that
way
one.
off.
Have you read it?
Do you know it? Fluently, the ABCs.
You better not be selling them on eBay.
Nah, yeah, it's what, and you know what? Like, even just the whole sexualizing of movies in general, like, it's nuts. You can't watch any movie. Like, I had the day off the other day, and I was sitting at home with my mum, and I was like, "Oh, should we watch a movie?" She was like, "Yeah, sweet." We had to go through like 4 movies before we could watch one that was appropriate.
Yeah.
Like, you start a movie, and then you're like, "Oh, well, this is trash. Can't watch this." Then next movie, "Oh, this is trash. Can't watch
garbage,
this."
yeah.
Like, it's just crazy.
True that.
The amount of it that is just like
think
out
we
there for people to consume.
We spoke about that too in a couple episodes back about how the movie industry is so heavily influenced. And I mean specifically in the power.
Yep.
So they actually have massive roles. Like they're big time executive producers, they're big time directors. So they actually have the positions of power to create the content and then push it onto the social platforms for you and your children to consume.
Yep.
So that's the other thing too, is that they're not just small voices, man. the queer community or the
Yeah.
alphabet community. They're not small. They've got some powerful
They're not
influence.
the minority anymore.
No, absolutely not.
I watched
They're prime ministers, brother.
I saw I don't think it was a court case, but it was like a community hearing thing, where a guy was talking about the grooming of children, that is being pushed by the LGBTQ community, and he was saying like,
I think I saw that guy.
He's a gay dude.
Very well intelligently spoken.
And he's a gay dude.
Yeah,
and he was saying it's grooming, it's sexualizing kids, and he
yep.
goes, it's disgusting. And as a gay man, I don't agree with
And
any
you
of this
stand for
stuff.
that, pushing that agenda, yeah.
And but one thing that he said that stood out to me was he goes, we're not the minority anymore. I don't walk outside and get discriminated against because of my sexuality or whatever.
Correct.
And he goes,
Yeah.
so we need to stop acting like
the
world is
are.
against us.
That's such a good point, because at the moment, all the Christians are now hiding in the closet.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like closet hiders, my bro. You guys are in there looking at your socks and
all
socks and t-shirts.
Christians, you can stay in the closet, bro. Stay there.
We don't need you. You're weak anyway.
Shucks.
But let's be honest. So, for example, it used to be
in
back
the
in the day,
faggots.
homos, I think it is. But in the back in the day, it was that the homos and all that, right? They were actually the ones in the closet.
Yeah,
Right? And it's Christians now.
yeah,
Oh, it's a bit of a trend now
Yeah.
to be gay.
yeah. It is.
It's a bit of a trend.
Yeah,
It's a dumb trend, by the way.
hard. I think all in all, like
We're gonna wrap this up.
coming to the end of it. I guess. I mean, we could probably go through and
Another
say
episode
whatever we
of
want to say, but like, just stand for something.
Yes. In conclusion,
If you're not for the agenda that's being pushed, then stand against it. You don't know. I mean, you don't have to go out there, do a live video and say, I hate gay people and I hate this and I hate that. But when things pop up or things come about, like, stand against it. If it's wrong within your school, within your community, everything, all of that stuff plays a part in it. And if you're a person of influence and you are actually against that stuff, man, use your platform, use your voice.
Talk.
Don't be afraid, because there's people that will stand behind you. There are people that will be behind you and champion
and
you.
you most likely will be a spark.
Oh, hard.
If you're in a place of influence.
For
And
sure.
I noticed that we've said this many, many times and throughout our different episodes. We don't hate gay people, by the way. Eh? We don't hate them. We just strongly disagree with what they believe, just the same way that they do about us too, though. They strongly disbelieve in what we have convictions for. So exactly the same way.
Yeah.
But they don't treat us any less different. Some of them actually are very nice, very kind. And we can also be the same vice versa. But I do not believe in what their belief is. I strongly am against it.
Yeah, the movement that's being pushed, bro, is foul.
But awesome. I think that, look, that hits it off for our third topic here. For our third episode, for House of Flames.
Yes,
There's
that's
always
us.
going to be some more upcoming stuff. So
That's
just
it.
keep an eye out. As I said before, we are going to look at trying to get some merch in regards to, you know what, some more traditional ways that we believe is the right way. So keep an eye out for that merch. Have a look at some of the videos that we've chosen to put up there in the link.
Make sure you like, share, subscribe,
That's
and
it.
subscribe.
follow, leave us a comment. Shucks, give us.
Doesn't matter what your
give us
opinion is,
props
just
if you
drop
want.
it.
If you want
All
to give
good.
us props, if you don't, then let us know, bro.
Even if you hate what we're saying, please tell us.
hard.
But if you
all
love it,
good.
then
Please
even
tell
better.
us it's amusing.
No. Not a stress at all.
But all good.
Facts. That's us.
That's
Awesome House of Flames. Burn it
Yeah.
up.